One Piece is just getting started, and you will be shocked to see what's next for the Straw Hat Pirates as Season 2 prepares to change everything. After binge watching the first season of One Piece, many viewers felt proud to see Luffy achieve one of his dreams by getting his face on a wanted poster. But this means more dangers are waiting ahead for the Straw Hats, and every bounty hunter will try to capture Luffy and won't rest until they do so. The Straw Hats might look complete with a chef now part of the crew, but they are still vulnerable without a doctor. As pirates, it's apparent that they will always get into fights, and they must be prepared for the outcome. While in Barati, Zoro sustained a big wound when he fought with Mihawk that almost cost him his life. And with a bounty price on Luffy, there are more fights ahead, especially as they try to go closer to the Grand Line. As a captain who takes the dreams of his crew very seriously, Luffy is also going to take their health just as important, because they wouldn't be able to achieve anything if they don't have access to adequate health care. So Season 2 will change things, as Luffy will try to look for a skilled doctor to join his crew. In the original series, the pirates met a doctor, Tony Chopper. They would meet Chopper when a crew member is dangerously sick. So if Luffy wants to keep his team going and active, he would have to convince Chopper to join them, and that means a new member of the Straw Hats should be expected in Season 2. You may have missed it, but Season 1 hinted at the next villain Luffy and his team would encounter. As soon as the credits began to roll, a man with his back turned to the screen and a white hair burned Luffy's poster with his cigar. And the person who fits this description the most from the original materials is Marine Captain Smoker. He's the captain in Logtown, the same place Gold Roger came from. Luffy and his team would have no choice but to stop at Logtown, and that's when Smoker would make it a point to capture Luffy. One of the reasons why the Straw Hat Pirates would want to have a stopover at Logtown is that Zoro would like to get new swords to replace those that broke during his fight with Mihawk. Smoker will be a big part of One Piece too, because he will never stop trying to get Luffy. In the finale, Alvida said that if Buggy doesn't get Luffy, she will. After they've both suffered some great embarrassments at the hands of Luffy, these two could change their approach in the future by teaming up to get Luffy. And this isn't far-fetched, considering they both became allies in the original materials to get through to him. They might fail, but their alliance will come as a shock and could meet Luffy unawares. Viewers have been introduced to some people Luffy grew up with, especially his grandfather Garp and Shanks. However, Luffy's dad hasn't featured, but he was given a brief appearance in Season 1. During the execution of Gold Roger, some known faces like younger Shanks and Mihawk were shown. Also in the same crowd, a man was wearing a green cloak, but his face wasn't revealed, and this person might be a more significant part of One Piece too. Aside from that, this person could be Monkey D. Dragon, Luffy's father. From the anime, Dragon's known for his green cloak, and he's the leader of the Revolutionary Army. His team is focused on challenging and overthrowing the world government, which his dad, Garp, is a part of. In the anime, Dragon made another appearance when Luffy stopped at Logtown with his crew, which could also happen in Season 2 and change everything. Aside from his dad, Luffy could also get to meet another relative if the live-action action takes more from the original series, and that would be his brother, Portgas D. Ace. Unlike how his dad was hinted at, Luffy's brother wasn't teased in the first season, but he's an essential character that Luffy could come across next season. Ace is also a pirate like Luffy, but a fascinating character that would make a sweet impression on viewers. He might not get to have plenty of screen time, but he will surely resurface from time to time if he's ever featured in Season 2. Things are generally about to take a different turn for the Straw Hats as they follow their dreams to the Grand Line. Zoro challenged Mihawk to a duel in Season 1 so he could claim the title of the greatest swordsman. The crazy thing about this is that Luffy didn't try to stop him because he believed that Zoro could win, even though he mentioned it was because he didn't want to get in the way of Zoro's dream. Although Zoro nearly passed away and lost his two swords after that duel, there's no reason why he won't meet with Mihawk again. As soon as Mihawk allowed Zoro to live after their fight, he mentioned that Zoro should look for him whenever he's ready. So these two could meet again in Season 2, and their meeting might go differently than the first time. However, whether or not Zoro is ready to take the title, he won't stop trying, and Mihawk will always be in the picture. In fact, Mihawk trains Zoro later in the anime, so this might happen sooner in the series. During the finale of One Piece, Nami made a concerning note about the navigation to the Grand Line and how a mountain was in the way. But Luffy dismissed this by assuring her she would figure it out. However, as they advance, this could be a huge setback for them in Season 2. The reverse mountain is always a challenge for any crew heading towards the Grand Line as they try to navigate, and this is unavoidable for Luffy and his friends. But the exciting deal is they will also encounter some things on this adventure. According to the anime, the crew met with the huge island whale called Laboon and some representatives of Baroque works as they were coming down from the mountain. And with the Straw Hats heading towards the Grand Line in One Piece 1, they would eventually encounter Laboon or pass through the island. But then, this creature could be important to the journey of the Straw Hats in Season 2. Most of the driving force for the Straw Hats comes from Luffy watching Shanks and falling in love with the pirate's way of life. And ever since Shanks left, there was no hint at whether he was still alive until he showed up at the end when Mihawk showed him a poster of Luffy. Considering the bond between Luffy and Shanks, these two could get to meet again in Season 2, and you can bet that their reunion would be the sweetest thing to see. Since Luffy has been able to achieve so much in such a short period, Shanks would be proud of him, and he might even show him some tips he needs to excel since he now has his crew and has demonstrated that he's ready to become the king of pirates. Meeting Shanks again would be beneficial not only to Luffy, but also to Usopp. During one of their talks, Usopp recalled how much he missed his dad, Yasopp, and Luffy was glad to let him know that he met his dad as he's a part of Shanks' crew. And it was so clear how emotional Usopp was and how much he misses his dad, so it would be great for Usopp to finally meet him in Season 2. His dream is to be a fearless warrior of the sea, and it's known that he can be very timid when faced with danger. For him to overcome his fears, it would benefit him to sit and learn from his dad, because that could help him overcome his weakness and become brave. If the One Piece live action continues to follow more of the story arcs in the manga, fans should expect a lot of drama from the Arabasta saga with Crocodile at the forefront. Baroque Works is a criminal organization that threatens the kingdom of Arabasta, and the leader of this group is Crocodile. As the Straw Hat Pirates advance toward the Grand Line, they will come across Arabasta and try to stop the Baroque Works from taking over. This attempt will backfire as it will become an even bigger war that involves the Marines, Pirates, Royal Guards, Rebel Army, and Baroque Works. Then, as usual, Luffy will have a one-on-one fight with Crocodile, who also ate a devil fruit. Unlike Luffy's gift, Crocodile ate a sand fruit that gave him the power to create and control sand, and even turn parts of his body into sand whenever he wanted. And this could happen in Season 2, and it will be one hell of a fight. Also, around the same time as the fight, the Straw Hats might get a new member called Nico Robin, who ate devil fruit too, and things will only get more fun as new members continue to join the Straw Hats. With this, it's no longer news that many new characters will be introduced next season, which means there will also be new actors and actresses joining the show. The lead cast of One Piece will reprise their roles, but fans should expect some new faces of villains and allies from next season. Undoubtedly, One Piece live action will be a big success as it will raise many fans who never knew about the manga. Although it's not expected to go on for as long as the anime has been active, the show will go very far as the main cast wishes to play their roles for as long as possible. Share your thoughts in the comments, and thanks for watching.